Today I'm taking a look at Victoria Nelson photography from the Gold Coast. She's a family and newborn photographer. I really love the look of the website. I love how the fonts and your images, they all kind of just mix together really well. I'm thinking on your home page, come on in, I love that. But you don't say Victoria Nelson photography anywhere apart from in the copy. So I would somehow have a logo or something somewhere pretty prominently on your homepage. What I'm thinking here is this is about Victoria, but I know this image is not you, this is a client. So I wonder if maybe this about Victoria could be scratched out. And then, because then you have a picture of yourself. Yeah, that's me. There's a couple things I would change just in this first copy, like you say you're capturing the connection and love between family members with your Gold Coast photography services. That's kind of unnecessary. I'm sure that the Gold Coast thing is in here for SEO purposes, so I would just say capturing the connection and love between family members. I offer maternity, newborn, blah, blah, blah. My clients return to me time and time again. And maybe I'd here say I'm based on the Gold Coast, or even here where you've listed the membership here, and then add where you're located. One little thing I noticed was that if I click on this, it takes me to the demos about me page, so I would make sure that the link's working and taking you to your actual homepage. I love this, choose your own adventure. I'm not sure what's missing here. I've noticed that some things are kind of overlapping where they're not supposed to. So I'm not sure if that's has something to do with the responsiveness of the website, but I talked to your web designer about that. So I scroll down here. I love that you have these three options for choosing your adventure. And with Bumps and Babies and family photography, I noticed you follow kind of the same look. Overall, you have a small or an explanation, and then some pictures, and then a link to the gallery, and then a testimonial. I love that you have video testimonials. I think that's very powerful. And then you have frequently asked questions, pricing guide, get in touch. You might also like. So your newborn and family kind of both follow that same pattern. What I did notice is that if I choose breastfeeding as the adventure or as the session, I only get to the contact page. So I would at least create a separate contact page for breastfeeding sessions where you can have a bit of info about the breastfeeding sessions themselves, so that it's not directly just the contact page. And maybe I would even add the breastfeeding session page in here. I really like your navigation menu. It's really simple, it's really straightforward. It's all very clear to anyone who comes to your website. What I would do is I would change these subcategories a little. Like, since you say newborns, you don't have to put all of this out. You could just put maybe newborn portfolio, newborn session pricing, frequently asked questions, or even leave the newborn out since someone's already gone to the main category here, so that there's not so much copy, especially when someone's looking at their phone. That might be a lot. Oh, so your blog link isn't working either, but I went in here earlier. So I like that you're highlighting one really important blog post up here. I think that's very, very helpful. And I love that you have these categories here in the featured, and then just the latest feed. As I'm scrolling on your home page, I noticed this journal in here, but since you call it blog up here, I would do either or, either change this to blog or have latest blog posts and stuff like that in here, or change this to journal. I wouldn't mix the two, just so that it's clear. You say explore the blog here, so I would also keep blog here. Your contact form, I think it's great. You might want to do how did you hear about me? I'd maybe put here how can I help you, or what would you love to capture about this time in your life, something like that, so that there's something a little bit more personal in here. Maybe you could have one more personal or fun question depending on your personality, but I think that kind of opens up people to realizing that there's a human on the other side of this contact form. I haven't talked about your About Me page yet. So I really love that you tell the story, especially this part about how you used to be excited for film, and as a kid you'd take your stuff to print, and then you talk about how 20 years or so later you have a digital camera, and memory cards and computers have taken the place of film and printing. And I think the About Me page is really a good place to sort of showcase why the client would want to book you, or showcase why who you are is the person who's the right person for the job. So I wouldn't go so much into the history of your photography and how you started the business in here. I love this first story with film and how you would save your pocket money to go get film and prints. So I'd continue on that in the next, like, fast forward 20 years or so, maybe even have this, but talk about how the memory cards and computers started to take the place of film and printing. But because you grew up holding prints and so on, you're very passionate about offering print products. You're passionate about clients having these print products in your home or in their home, because you have all the print products in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I saw transition. Yes, most popular product. So your About Me page is a good place where you can kind of plant the seed of, hey, if you hire me, you are going to end up with beautiful wall art in your home. And then I think overall, there's a lot of stuff in here, or even this thing could work as a blog post, or how you could write a blog post about your history, so that once you've talked here more about why you are, what you can do for your clients, you can then have a link saying, hey, if you want to learn more about my background, go here, and then that link could link to your blog post. One thing that I noticed in these kind of images that are like pathways to the next page, that this image is the same as the Bumps and Babies image, so I would switch that out, just because someone might look at this quickly and think, oh, I already went there, and then not realize it's a completely different page. So I would just make sure that none of the same images are used for these sort of pathways. But I do love your frequently asked questions. I think it's super helpful. A lot of these questions are things I would imagine that people ask or have asked of you when they first were in touch. So I think this is great. Oh, one thing I did notice with your footer, you say Gold Coast, mountain, wedding, and family photographer. There was no wedding work anywhere on your website, so I would just switch that to newborn, maternity, all that stuff that you want to focus on. One thing with these sort of gallery or session options is you have bumps and babies, but it's newborns up here. And when I go into this, there are no bump pictures, there's no maternity pictures. So I would name this and keep it as newborns or babies, as long as, or until you also have some maternity pictures to showcase. So Vicky, overall, I really love that you're kind of guiding your clients through, or potential clients through, your website. Like, you have them go into whatever they're interested in, and then there's more steps and more steps to follow until they get to the booking part. I think that's a really, really smart idea.